Alright guys, so I will get more extensively into the stuff I'm about to mention in a later video, but understand that as a consumer, you hold a lot of power. When I lived in Florida, I did not drive to work most days. I biked to work. It's a really great way to maintain your health, and it's a really great way to minimize on gas and car usage. So, depending on where you live and the time of the year it is, you might consider doing that. Doesn't seem like much. None of this stuff seems like much. But when you add all of this stuff up, once again, compounding interest, not just literally in the form of money making money on top of money in an IRA, but also in your life of biking to work instead of driving to work every day, not finding the closest parking space, you maintain your health. You maintain your health, you live longer. You live longer, you can enjoy all the money that you've saved up that I'm showing you how to save up. Couple just quick things. I would really try to avoid payments anytime you can. And what I mean by that, if you lease a car, the short story of that is stop leasing it. I know it's not always easy, but try to work towards the mentality of no more leasing, no more payments, own. Okay? You're better off getting a cheaper car that is paid off so you don't answer to anybody, similar to a small house that is paid off $40,000, rather than a $200,000 house where you answer to that bank. You're better off getting rid of payments. So if you can own your car outright, own your car, or get rid of your payment car and buy a cheaper car. Get a bike instead if you have to. As far as car insurance goes, I highly recommend that you call your insurance company often and ask them. Ask them for a lower rate. Look, I do my business with you guys, and there's a lot of options out there. What's the best rate that you can give me? It's been 6 months. Let's talk about this. And if not, maybe it is best that you go somewhere else to get your car insurance. I'm gonna look into this, but there is a cell phone plan that you can get that is actually phenomenal. That is a fraction of the price of the common mall, kiosk, cell phone plan companies out there. It's not one that's often heard of. I am in the process of switching over as well. I'm doing research on this, and I will update you on that as soon as possible. But anything that is a drain on your bank account, revisit often to get the lowest rate possible, or find out companies that don't have the advertising dollars of the big guys, but give you pretty much the same service for a much lower price. And AKA what I'm talking about there is cell phone companies or cell phone service. Same thing with internet. I know that we all like to have internet in our home. I get that in today's day and age it's hard to not have that in our home, but you might want to think about how Wi-Fi is readily available everywhere, or just about. So if you live in an area where the lobby of your building or the coffee shop across the street that you spend a ton of time in anyways has Wi-Fi, I'm not sure if you're working 2 to 3 jobs, spending time in a coffee shop that has Wi-Fi anyways, and only coming home to shower, make dinner, stretch, do some yoga, and go to bed, that you should have internet in your home anyways. You know, this is kind of a grind, and this is a hustle. And if you're not spending a considerable amount of time at home with good reason, keyword there, words, good reason to have internet at home, then maybe you shouldn't. Netflix subscription, Hulu, any channel for that matter, ABC, NBC, CBS, whoever it is, not a good reason to have internet in the home. Get rid of all of that. That's a drain on your bank account. You don't need it. Instead, go for a walk, stretch out your muscles, reverse the aging process, do some push-ups, work on your music, better yet, If you have time to watch Netflix and you're not where you want to be musically, and I'm just targeting Netflix. What I mean is if you have time to watch TV and you're not where you want to be musically, you better wise up. If you have time to game, but you don't have time to do music, you better wise up. You better wise up if you're really serious about this. So, might be worth getting rid of that, $40 to $120 a month payment to internet when really if you're doing all these steps right, you shouldn't have time for internet in your home. You come home, you shower, you eat, you do music, you go to bed, you get up, you go to your job or jobs, um, come home, work out, maybe go to the coffee shop for an hour or two to watch this music academy, come home and apply what you just learned at the music academy in your DAW, shower, make dinner, go to bed, rinse and repeat. Really isn't much of a reason if you're grinding and hustling to really have internet in your home right now. Save that money and put it towards anything else, whether it be equipment that you actually need. And we talked about that. Don't get addicted to equipment or become a slave to marketing. Get what you actually need. I've already gone over that in the beginner's course. Put it towards your IRA so that when you're older, that's $60 a month for a year turned into $3,000, which, bought you an awesome cruise or something in your golden years or whatever. So think about these things, guys, because none of this stuff alone seems like it's that big of a deal, but it all makes an impact towards becoming wealthy. Similar to mixing. Not one plugin may make that big of an impact, but when you have a chain of plugins, they make that plain sounding synthesizer or plain sounding group of tracks sound pretty crazy and awesome. But it's not just the equalizer, it's not just the compressor, it's not just the auto pan, it's not just the exciter, it's not just the saturator. It's all of them together. And none of them are working all that hard. They're all just doing their own little thing just a little bit, but they all build on each other. They compound into one great effect. Think about that. Get to work.